Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Vishnu Dutt, and today we are going to talk about Cisco's ISE absolutely from scratch. ISE means you all know Identity Services Engine, right? So, first thing first, what we will be covering as a part of this webinar. So, as you can see, we will be talking about a typical enterprise network because first thing first, we need to understand what exactly we are securing. Okay. Then we can talk about why behind Cisco Identity Services Engine. Believe me, if you understand why behind any concept, that concept is going to be with you for a longer period of time because you get it. Then we will be talking about Identity Services Engine and its magic in an enterprise network. Then we can talk about course prerequisite and expectations. We will be breaking this ice. What is the meaning? Definitely, I will be letting you know. And at last, message of the day. So if you get this webinar, believe me, you are going to get so many things with it. Having said that, now let's talk about the first board where I will be talking about a typical enterprise network. Most of my classes, believe me, it starts with this box, right? I am seeing right now there are many people, and I know some of them personally also, that they do not know anything about computer security, and some people who do not know much about computer networks, but they are into this security domain, and there are some people who do not know about much about network also and not much about security. So we should be on the same page with respect to what exactly we are securing. We should understand how a typical enterprise network looks and how it behaves. So if you get this picture, if this picture is bringing some bad thing into your mind, that what is this big picture, and maybe there are so many routers, which is what this MPLS is, right? And many of the security engineers who do not know routing switching well, they might be having some issue with this picture. So let's try to understand this one, right? Believe me, whatever I have drawn here, it is exactly same like this. Okay. So what is overall idea behind it? So let's consider a person from here. Definitely, maybe Mr. Debashish. So Debashish is actually having some interest in business side also. Okay. So he see India is a country where exactly many people are there, and you know that we are more than 120 crores now, 30 crores maybe, right? And people in India are mad about sports, specifically cricket, football, and you all know. So, Mr. Debashish, what he is doing, he is actually planning to build an enterprise, build a company which can create these sporting goods, right? And luckily, because the product quality is so good that Mr. Debashish's business is growing day by day. So first thing first, they opened a branch in Delhi, right? And they call it a campus network because many people come here, around 50 to 70, because this company is a little bit small now, right? And Mr. Debashis is thinking that this company is going to grow pretty soon. So they have a big building in Delhi and they are calling it campus. And as I mentioned, Mr. Debashis' company's quality, the product quality is just amazing. If that is the case, you don't believe, his demand for these products are all over India. So he has to open some of the branches. Believe me, I will connect all the dots. Do not worry about it. Because first thing first, we just want to make sure that we all are on the same page, that what exactly an enterprise network looks like. So I am just telling you a story of Mr. Debashish, who is an good businessman. He has just started his company, and his company is now throughout the India, right? You can see that he now has Bangalore branch also, where maybe 20 to 50 people come and work. He has Hyderabad branch also, Nagpur branch also, and you all understand all and everything's part of India now, right? People are crazy about his products. Having said that, now let's try to understand who are these people who are working inside these big offices, right? So let's talk about Sports India Delhi campus. Maybe Mr. Debashish has different branches, right? Different branches or different flavors of people, you can say. What is the meaning of flavor? Some people work in HR department, some people work in maybe engineering department, engineers like us, who are the whole soul of a company, right? Then we have marketing department, sales department, and so on. right? There are different departments. And of course, if there are different departments, sometimes they need to talk to each other because you all know engineers most of the time talk to HR, right? And this is a good communication. When engineer goes and talk to HR, this is a good communication. But if HR initiates and talks something to engineer, you all know sometimes that conversation doesn't go well. So overall point is Mr. Debashis has different branches and many people work here, right? Now, these people communicate with themselves and these people also communicate with some of the servers. And then you are must be thinking who are new here or new into this domain, what exactly these servers are, right? Maybe HR has complete information about what people are doing, at what grade they are working, what projects they have, and maybe the salary also, right? Salary structure. Everything is stored on this server and only HR can access some, maybe this is the server number one, which is dedicated to HR. And of course, engineers are not allowed to see what is going on these servers, right? So you can understand that this Delhi campus has many servers, and all of these professionals who are working under Debasis G, they are actually trying to access these servers. And by the way, we also call these servers, and the programs running on them is application. For example, here we have the HR application, right? It is also the case that if we talk about Bangalore, then in Bangalore also we have this division called HR, and maybe two or three people are working there. And of course, if that is the case, this HR professional need to talk to this server for some latest information, whatever the server belongs to, right? Similarly, engineering has their own servers, their own application, and somebody who joins the Hyderabad office right here, right? Maybe the engineer, he or she would be communicating with these servers. There is no doubt about it, right? So what you do, you connect all these branches together. Doesn't matter how you are going to connect. Maybe you are connecting them over this cloud, which is also known as internet. You can argue with me, Mr. Vishnu, how you are connecting them over internet. Don't you think internet is not secure? This is a security class. I agree with you, but there are many things you can do to secure things over this unsecure medium, which is your internet. And then I say you can connect over MPLS too, and that is where most of the guys get confused. Most of the security guys get confused who do not know much about the network, right? What the hell this MPLS is? And believe me, it is just another provider network, just like an internet, which carries your data and delivered to other portion of your network. So overall, what I want to say is, just wait a minute. So overall, what I want to say here is that there are many branches of this company, Sports India Private Limited, all over the India, right? And you have connected all these branches with this network. And by the way, this is known as your wide area networking. Believe me, everything, whatever I am going to tell you in this class, I will be combining that in the last. It is going to be very interesting discussion if you understand that, right? Now, you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, where is the data center of this company? I agree with you that data center should be there in a company, but if we consider a small company, right, just like Debashishji company, then definitely there are servers. He can accommodate all those servers inside the campus itself, right? And sometimes we call that on-prem data centers also because the servers are right there into the campus. But as I mentioned, Mr. Debashi's products are phenomenal. Believe me, they are so great that the demand is coming from all over the India and it's a huge demand. And that is why Mr. Debashis has to hire a lot of engineers, a lot of HR professional. And if that is the case, then these number of applications are going to increase, these servers are going to increase, and Debashis G actually shifting all these servers, right, to a different facility, and this facility name is actually data center. Believe me, right? Just wait a minute, guys. So this facility name is actually the data center. So data center is what? Where most of your servers are, right? And why do you want to put all these server at the one place? There are n number of reasons for that. First thing is that it is easy to manage. And if you put these servers into the data center, there are people who can take care of this data center pretty well, right? They are expert in that. And that is why you do that. So I have only mentioned two or three reasons. There are a number of reasons. Maybe you want to create your data center in Mumbai location if you are in India, if you are a complete enterprise who is working inside India, because Mumbai is a strategic location. You all know why. Because most of the time, if you are anywhere in the India, you are connecting to this Mumbai because all the servers are there in the Mumbai data center. And sometimes the round trip time, how much time it is, the network is going to take to reach the data center and then come back, it is going to be same, right? Or or kind of equal. So overall, what I want to say is that this is the company created by Mr. Debashish ji. Sports India, it's a name. There are several branches. You connect them over the wide area networking, and then you have shifted most of the servers to a data center, right? Now, whatever the diagram I was showcasing you in my previous board is exactly this diagram, right? But most of us engineers, right? Most of the network engineers like you and me, they do not see the buildings, they actually see the devices in those buildings. And what are those devices? You all know those devices are routers, switches. Believe me, this picture is exactly the same as I showcased you with this India map and then buildings. So we right here is having Delhi campus, right? And I am showcasing my users like this. Maybe this is HR user, this is engineer, and so on, right? And of course, if you want to connect them, you need a switch. So if you are new to the networking world, just believe me, if you want to connect to nearby devices, which are part of the same network, you need a switch. But if two devices or if two hosts or computers are miles apart, maybe they are networks apart, then you need routers to connect them. This is the only difference between the switches and the router. But if you are starting your journey, believe me, my website has so many free courses available, right? Through which you can start your journey in the networking field, right? If you are a security engineer who don't know much about networking. So here I am just saying that network engineers like us are going to see routers and switches here instead of this big building. So overall, in Delhi campus, there are many people come and work. They are connected over the switch. They can communicate with each other. And of course, Delhi campus, just like Delhi campus, we have campus in Bangalore, Hyderabad. You may be thinking that where exactly the Nagpur branch goes. I didn't want to clutter this diagram. That is why I am having only three different branches, including this campus. And now I have introduced one more important thing. Remember, I mentioned in the previous board that Mr. Debashish ji has shifted all of his servers from the Delhi campus to a centralized location which is known as data center, because it is the center of the data, because most of the applications and data resides on these servers. And believe me, if you want to connect with these servers also, you need switches and you need routers. So inside the data center also, you need to create those network using these switches and routers. And of course, most of you guys are aware, I think you have heard about this term known as firewall. Firewall is another piece of information, which is another piece of device, which is really, really important. Why? I will be talking about it, right? But you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, why you have drawn this house and a user here, right? You all know that after COVID, most of us, right, if your company permits, that we work from home, right? So this guy who is sitting inside this home, maybe this guy is an HR professional or engineering professional or sales professional of the same company, which is a Sports India Private Limited, right? Which is created by Mr. Debashish ji. And this guy is sitting at the comfort of his home and want to access company's network. And you all know, if you are at your home, the connectivity option which you have is only internet, because you must have taken services of some internet service provider like maybe Airtel or Geo or whatever, right? Over this internet, believe me, you come to your enterprise just like this, right? I will be showcasing you with this pink color traffic flow. So basically, this is the traffic flow. How exactly you are accessing your company's resources. So you are coming over the internet. Maybe then you go to this router. Generally, we create virtual private network. If you are not aware of that, do not worry about it. Just try to think that if you are sitting at your home and if you want to access your own server, right, inside your company, then you need to come over this internet, right? And most of the time, you need to hit this firewall first. This firewall is going to be between you and your company's servers or the network. If this firewall permits you, right? If it identifies you, then you are going to have access of this server. Otherwise, not. As simple as that. And by the way, we call such user as a remote user, right? And this is the reality. Almost 30-40% of a company's staff nowadays is working from their home, and this traffic is huge. You have to let your employees in over the internet. But all you should understand that the internet is also fill up with the people who do not want Mr. Devashi's business to flourish, right? If I give you an example, very a simple example, suppose we have this blue server, and over this blue servers, the sportsindia.com website is running. This is the website where many people can come and order their stuff. And why we have so many engineers? Because these engineers are maintaining this website. Why we have so many HR professional and salespeople? Because these people are selling these products, right? Strategy behind these products. They are selling it. At the end of the day, Mr. Devashish ji is running a website which is www.sportsindia.com, which is right there onto their server, right? And there must be somebody, there are many people, intruder or the normal buyer, they will be coming. Okay, I will showcase you this with maybe the green color. This guy will also have connectivity to the internet. And suppose this is a legitimate user. He really wants to buy something from Sports India com, right? He will be going inside and accessing this server, definitely, right? And now, if I talk about how your normal employee, for example, if somebody is in Bangalore, he is an engineer, this guy, and he want to do some change in this website, how it is going to do? Let me explain that with another piece of traffic flow, right? So this guy will be coming to this switch, then to this router, maybe some other pen because it is not that much visible, maybe the yellow one. It is coming to the router. After the router, we are reaching to this MPLS or internet, whatever the service you have bought, then to this router. Then, of course, this guy can go directly and work on this server if they want to change something, right? So you can understand that these are your typical traffic flows which happens over a enterprise. See, guys, this understanding is really important, right? Why? Because at the end of the day, if you are a network engineer, if you understand your enterprise infrastructure or if you understand your company network design, right? Although there are many things inside it, but believe me, this session is not about the enterprise network. If you want to learn it, there are many courses I have created on my website. But you should have at least this much of understanding. You should have at least this much of traffic flows that how basically a remote user come inside your organization, how your own organization person can able to access these servers, how somebody who is not part of your organization can come into your campus also, and maybe as a guest, or maybe he want to order something your website, order something from your website. I think you get the point. I think you get the point. So basically, this is the type of a typical enterprise network. Believe me, I will give you a chance to ask question, right? So if you have any doubt, I think this is pretty much clear to everybody that enterprise network looks like this, right? Now the real question arises. We as a network engineer has built this network is up and running. There is no doubt about it. People are coming from outside, they are ordering the devices, they are ordering the sporting goods, they are pretty happy. Employees can access the network, right? They You have created this wide area network. Why wide area network? Because try to understand, we are connecting Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad and Mumbai, right? These are the branches which we have, and the distance between these branches is phenomenal, right? If you consider the distance between Delhi and Bangalore, approximately 2400 kilometers. Delhi and Mumbai, approximately 1000 kilometers. And you are connecting these branches. If that is the case, you are creating the wide area network, right? And inside a typical, if I ask about a Delhi campus, whatever the routers and switches you see here, you have created that network. And this network is known as your campus network, right? Maybe this network where we are talking about Bangalore, this is the branch network. And this data center, of course, it is going to have some network, right? Switches, routers, load balancer, firewall, you all know about it, right? You have created a superb network of this data center, and then it is also known as a data center network. And believe me, Cisco has solution for all of these different kind of network. For example, if we talk about WAN, what is the meaning of WAN? You are connecting different branches and your data center. This comes into the category of wide area networking, and Cisco has a software defined solution for it, which is software defined WAN. If we talk about a campus network, Cisco has its software defined solution for that too, which is SDXS, right? And if we talk about data centers, Cisco has a solution for that too, which is known as application centric infrastructure. So try to understand where all these solutions are fit. Now, the big question arises. That question is, we have built this network. What about the security of this network? And network engineer must be thinking, security, what is the meaning of that? We have built the network. It's a superb network. You can connect it. You can connect your laptop, PC, device, whatever you want, right? Now the question comes, really the question comes, how to secure this. But before understanding how to secure this, we need to understand from where or from what we are trying to secure this network. And that is where I have a separate board where we are going to brainstorm, we are going to think about, right? What is the meaning of security, right? First thing first, try to understand. If I have, if I have a network here, right? No doubt about it that my employees or these employees of Mr. Debashish ji, right? They will be connecting to the switch, then from switch to router, and they can access this server, right? Who is going to stop, right? If I have an user which is not part of my organization, you can definitely say you provide username and password, but try to understand whether this device, this switch has this much intelligence so that it can identify that this guy is coming up with a laptop, whether this laptop is part of my own organization or not, whether this laptop is having antivirus installed or not. And you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, antivirus? Why are you saying this? So, Mr. Debashish's company has a policy. Whoever joins Mr. Debashish's company, they are going to get laptop. And there are two different options. Of they can get the Mac laptop, they can get the Windows laptop. But one thing is very important. One thing to which Mr. Debashi is it's very peculiar is the security. And he's saying that every laptop, whatever I am providing my employee to, right, should be having antivirus software installed in it, right? Because at the end of the day, you will be taking this laptop out to your house, and you never know, right? Knowingly or unknowingly, you will be on a site which is full of crap viruses, right? Or maybe the malwares. And that is why Mr. Debashis want everybody should install McAfee, right? Or maybe any software, any antivirus software. And Mr. Debashis also want that if anybody comes with the laptop, he should have installed this antivirus. Maybe you can take this laptop out and uninstall the software. But Debashis ji is very, very peculiar about it that that guy should be having, or all the laptop who are connecting to his network should be having the antivirus. If that is the case, I'm pretty sure if you are a route switch guy, this device itself, the switch itself doesn't have that capability, right? Anybody, believe me, if I go back 10 to 15 years back, this is the responsibility of a network engineer to provide the security. How? If I talk about this little switch, right? This is my switch, and you all know that switch has ports in it. And you can connect any device using this wire, which is actually your RJ45 or the CAT cable. We have RJ45 connector here, we have RJ45 connector here, and we connect it. And believe me, whatever the VLAN or whatever the port or whatever the configuration we have done on this switch, on the basis of that, you will be part of this network. It is as simple, means I'm not talking about uh, today's world. I'm talking about 15 to 20 years back. You just take your laptop, you just have your PC, connect it over the wire, and you must be having the access of the network. And this was the responsibility of the networking engineer or the network engineer at that point of time to secure this. And that is where we have some security mechanism on the switch. For example, I think you must have heard about port security. They identify that yes, this MAC address is mine, and on the basis of this MAC address, right? Or maybe I will be giving only permission to one or two MAC addresses, right? If you do not know about it, whatever I just said in last 10 seconds, believe me, it is okay. No problems, right? But at that moment, the responsibility of who is coming inside your network is actually this guy's responsibility who has created this network, right? Interesting. But you should all agree with me that maybe any intruder can come with on their own laptop. Anybody with some bad intention can come with their own laptop. They can connect to the switch and they can access the network, right? Either we need to increase the intelligence of the switch, or maybe we need to brainstorm if somebody is coming, how we are going to check who that guy is, with what laptop he is coming, whether that laptop has malware or not, whether that laptop has antivirus software installed or not, right? It is going to be interesting. And believe me, if we go back in time 10 to 15 or maybe 20 years back, we generally believe that if somebody is coming from inside, or somebody is in my Delhi campus, Bangalore campus, Hyderabad campus, and if he's coming with his laptop, we generally believe that my own employee, we are secure, right? If he connects, he is good. There is no problem with that employee. But suppose, take an example. If there is one guy who is part of maybe engineering, he didn't get his promotion from last 6, 7 years. He didn't get much salary hike, right? And he thinks that he's a good employee. He's working pretty hard. Then he might become disgruntled. He might want to sabotage or maybe destroy your network. And believe me, a recent survey, right, says that the attacks which are happening from inside, I'm talking about inside. What is the meaning of inside? Your own employees, right? They can also create problem. They can also, and there are many incidents too. Somebody says that 50 to 60% of attacks actually happened because of the internal resources, because of the internal guys on which we trust, right? And there is no doubt about it that this is the internal guy, or I'm talking about inside. But then what is the meaning of outside? The meaning of outside is somebody sitting on the internet and they are coming from the internet right into your organization. And most of the time, if I go back again in time, we were just safeguarding or securing our enterprises from these kind of users who are coming from outside. And that is where the firewall had a great importance. Believe me, firewall, actually, if you know, it is dividing your complete network in majorly in two pieces, inside and outside. And believes whatever I have in inside, they are good. But now, right, when we see this trend, 50, 60% of the attacks which had happened on this network are done by our internal guys only, right? It means that if you are a security engineer and you have brainstorming how to secure this network, doesn't matter the person is coming from inside of your organization, outside of your organization, at the first point, you are not going to trust them, right? And I believe you all heard about zero trust. Zero trust is exactly the same concept. Do not go with the name. You are not trusting anybody. If doesn't matter if a person coming from inside of your organization, outside of your organization, he has to prove himself that he is a legitimate employee coming with a legitimate device, and then you are going to give some permission to access the network. Otherwise, not. So overall, if I talk about from where these threats can come, from where attack actually can happen on this network, there are only three places, right? One, maybe somebody is coming with the laptop or maybe the device, handheld device, maybe your mobile phone or something. They can connect over this wired network, right? What is the meaning of wired network? You are actually connecting a wire, Cat 5K cable, directly into the switch, and the other end of the switch is with your laptop, right? This is one entry point. The second entry point is actually the wireless, right? What is the meaning of wireless? You go to your organization, right? There are so many wireless network there. You see in your laptop and you connect to your enterprise network. That is the second entry point. I'm not saying that whether you have secured it or not. I'm just talking about from where people can come, right? Which can take advantage of this network. And now the point is, what is the meaning of advantage of this network, right? I will be talking about it, but first, let me discuss these 3 points. One is they can connect to the wired network, they can connect to the wireless network, whatever you have created. And the third entry point is this remote guy, right? Which we call remote user who is sitting at their home and want to access this MPL and want to access your company's network, right? Three different points. Maybe if you are thinking how to secure Mr. Debashish ji organization, you need to put security at least these three places. People are coming from outside, right? People can connect from inside, two ways, wired as well as wireless. As simple as that. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss one interesting use case, right? So what I've done is I have shrink that complete organization Sports India. Consider this is my data center because here we have these servers, right? Maybe this server belong to HR, this server belong to engineering. And now there is one guy who is an employee of Sports India. He has this laptop and he wants to connect. Maybe this guy is an HR professional. He wants to talk to this HR server. Maybe he's interested in some of the records there. And I'm talking about the wired network. What he's done? He has come to the office, right? There is a cable. He connect that cable to its laptop, and now everything is up and running, right? And what you must be thinking, I do not know who this guy is, right? First thing first, you must be thinking that first thing, if I want to secure this network, I want to check who this guy is, whether he's part of my organization, right? Right? Or whether he's not. As simple as that, right? Then, if this guy, and of course, the user is not going to connect, eventually the laptop is going to connect, right? You must be thinking with whatever the laptop is coming. I need to first of all identify that whether this laptop belong to my organization or not. If this laptop doesn't belong to my organization, I'm not going to let it connect. I'm going to make sure that if this laptop belongs to me, this will be connecting, otherwise not. How I'm going to identify that this laptop belongs to my own organization? Really interesting. Maybe this guy can come with a device which is known as maybe the phone, right? Android phone, Apple iPhone, or whatever. If that is the case, how I'm going to identify, right? Because maybe this guy is still an employee, right? He has a laptop, he has one more device also. Whether should I get, whether should I let him connect to my network or not? I need to define it, right? I am just thinking from the perspective of a network security engineer. I know my network well. And first thing first, right? If you are a security engineer, and this problem I have seen in many people, right? Believe me, they are securing the something which they do not know about it. So if you want to be if you want to be a good network security engineer, try to understand the network first. Try to understand what exactly you are securing. You are securing an enterprise. You should be aware of the design of that enterprise, right? And now this guy, because he understand enterprise network, he is trying to solve it. And he understand there are only three places people can come. And I do not believe anybody. Doesn't matter if it is coming from the campus or if it is coming from the outside world. Maybe it is coming from the internet. Doesn't matter. So this guy is thinking, and this guy is thinking aloud that who this guy is, whether this laptop belongs to me. If this guy is coming with some other devices also, let me think whether these devices can access my network or not, right? But it is not always the case that if you know somebody, you can give all the access, right? What is the meaning of it? Suppose I am absolutely sure now, I am brainstorming how to secure my network, and I am absolutely sure that this guy is Mr. Rahul, who is part of Sports India organization. There is no doubt about it. That guy is part of my own organization, and through some mechanism, I do not know what those mechanisms are, but through some mechanisms, I know that this guy is Rahul. He's a part of Sports India Limited, and the laptop which he carries, I'm not sure how, but I am I definitely know this laptop also belongs to me. This laptop also have antivirus installed on it. It means that I know who exactly this guy is and what he's carrying, and that thing is absolutely safe. But still, I want that this guy should only access whatever he is capable of. What is the meaning? The meaning is this guy is HR. He can access the HR servers, but maybe there are some more servers, right, which even HR cannot access. If that is the case, who is going to tell my entire network if this guy is connected, what power it has on my network, whether he can access this HR server. And I absolutely want that this guy should not access the second server. I'm not sure what this server is, but I want to have such policies. I want to have such security policy. It doesn't mean that if you are the employee of Sports India Private Limited, if you are an HR professional, you have unlimited access of this network. No, Mr. Devashish can have. You all know. Devashish is the CEO of this company. He should be having unrestricted access to everything, right? But not everyone. Who is going to decide this access problem once he is right there into my organization? Who will be defining what he can do, right? Very interesting. But here, network engineers must be thinking it is very simple, Mr. Vishnu. We have access control list for that. But believe me, if you are into this industry from last 10, 15 years, or maybe 2 to 3 years, you must have seen those switches which are having access control list. And if you see the entries inside those access control lists, believe me, this is around 1,000 to 10,000 lines of code, right? And everybody has a fear. Means if I say, see, we need to remove some of the access control lists which are basically not giving anything to me, which are outdated. Nobody's going to do that because you never know which part of the network it is going to impact. And this is the problem with managing and maintaining ACLs. I do not want my network engineers to always build these ACLs to manage these ACLs. For example, if someone else comes, maybe in some different IP address or different, because these ACLs are heavily dependent on IP addressing, believe me, right? If somebody comes with different IP address, then maybe we need to create another rule for that network. And there's where most of the network engineering guys or the network engineers got busy, right? They were not concentrating on how to improve this network, but they are just firefighting. They are just creating these ACLs and some more things, right? Not a valid solution, but there is a solution for that. But as a security engineer, you should understand you need to identify who the guy is coming with, what device is coming, right? How they are accessing my network. And the second thing is, once they are into my network, I need to define what part of the network they can access, right? I need to do this access management. Third thing, once I am on this network, I need to understand, right, what this guy has done to my network. If he is connecting to my switch, there must be somebody who is going to write all this information. He's going to say this guy is connected to this switch. Now this guy is accessing this server, and whatever the activity he does, everything is going to be logged. Every information about this person who is coming, doesn't matter whether he is the whether he is the employee or not, but we want whatever he is doing should be logged somewhere. So maybe if this guy intentionally or intentionally misbehave, we have all the data, we have all the record through which we can check, we can understand this guy has created some problem. We have all the information about it. Pura bahi khata hai uska, as simple as that, right? And of course, if somebody is coming with a wireless network with different devices, or if somebody is coming from over the internet, we should know who that guy is, what should be the access permission, and we should be logging it that this guy is coming from the internet. He's the employee. He is coming with the right laptop. He is accessing all these things, right? And believe me, This can be done by one smart guy. Maybe this guy is that smart guy. And this smart guy is actually your identity services engine, ICE. He's capable of doing all these things, right? Where exactly I can see that? Maybe you can place in this data center, but why, right? This guy I'm calling about ICE, maybe he's right here. When somebody is coming to your switch is going to ask, tell me whether this guy is okay or not. And this guy is replying, the name of this guy is Identity Services Engine. This guy is replying, do not worry, I have checked. This is a employee of Sports India. Really interesting, right? And then again, the switch is asking whether its laptop is okay or not. And this guy is saying, do not worry about it. This is the employee. This is also his laptop is awesome. It has antivirus installed. It means that this guy and the switch both are talking. Previously, the switch didn't have that much intelligence because you were there to create all these access control lists, right? Which are not that manageable, although the solution was there, right? But now see the beauty of this solution. You have somebody intelligent into your network, and your devices, your switches are communicating with this intelligent guy, whether this guy belong to my organization or not. And ICE, Identity Services Engine, is going to reply, yes, this guy belong to your organization. Do not worry. He is having a healthy laptop. And then this guy, this intelligent guy, is going to instruct this switch. This is an HR professional. You need to give him access to only these servers or these networks. Believe me, it is interesting. And whatever is happening on this network, this guy is fully capable of logging in out, right? Now I come to some technical terms. The first thing which I mentioned, who, which is told by this guy that this guy is absolutely part of my organization. So this is known as authentication, right? The second thing, where I was talking about what permission this guy is going to have, this guy, Identity Services Engine, is defining it, and that is known as authorization. Once I am authenticated inside this network, what access I have or what authorization I have, whether I am authorized to access this network or not, or the server or not, this is also informed by this guy, ICE, right? And the last thing is the logging of all this information, which is your accounting. So first thing first, whatever we are learning today, right? And we all understand there is need of somebody, which is Identity Services Engine, right? The three major thing it does is it is going to authenticate the users who are coming to your organization. It is going to authorize that what they are capable of, and it is going to log them out, right? It is going to log all the information, all the action. But does ICE only do this much thing? No, believe me, it is the super intelligent guy. It can also check whether your device, whether your laptop is your company asset, whether it is good with your company policies, because Mr. Debashi's company policy says every laptop who is joining my network should have that little antivirus piece, right? Identity Services Engine can check that, believe me. And by the way, we call that as posturing, if you have heard about it. Identity Services Engine can also check whether this device is Mac device, this is an iPhone, Android phone, it's a laptop of which brand. It can all says everything about the device, and that is why we call it the provisioning, right? You all know whenever you go to maybe any organization, maybe the Bangalore International Airport or any airport, you can go and connect, right, to their network so that you can access the internet. Believe me, you are guest to them, right? This Identity Services Engine also provide you guest services. I think by this point you all understand that what my overall networks look like and as an enterprise network, right? And then how you are going to secure it. I'm not saying the ICE is the only way. There are some other ways also But believe me, if you learn ICE, you are going to be deeply loving with this product. It is way beyond than this AAA. AAA means authentication, authorization, and accounting. Now, I would like to give you one last example. So be with me. It's been already 49 minutes, but I will be covering, right, one thing, just one thing, which is actually the authentication piece, right? See the magic of this device. So I have introduced now Identity Services Engine into my data center. So this is a device. You must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, why you have placed this intelligent man into the data center? And I have a proper answer for that, believe me. But we will be talking about this, about all these things in our course itself. And with that, I would like to inform you that from 15th of February, we will be starting live classes of Identity Services Engine, right? There are going to be 12 classes of maybe 1 to 1.5 hours. And if you know about my teaching style, if you are part of my some of my courses, we actually discussed why behind things, and then we showcase you how exactly thing happens. Okay, so there are going to be 1 to 1.5 hour classes, 12 classes, right? And we will be done with this course. Believe me. Okay. So the importance of today's webinar is that you are going to get some cool things today. If you are a security engineer, right? If you do not know anything about network or not much thing about network, so I will be giving you with this live classes two of my most fundamental courses, right? This course name is Switching Fundamental and Routing Fundamental. Believe me, the Switching Fundamental course itself is approximately 3,000 rupees course, or maybe 4,000 rupees course, which I am giving you free with this live classes, right? And by the way, live classes course is just maybe 2,999 for these rupees 2,999 for all of these classes, right? And if you book today, if you register today, already we have around 50 to 100 people. I'm not sure about it, but they have joined. If you book it today, you will be getting 10% of the discount. By the way, 2,999 and 10% you are getting, and along with that, you are getting the switching and the routing fundamental course if you do not know it. And believe me, if you do that switching, this is one of my best course which I have ever produced, right? And last thing through which you are going to be totally mesmerized is doesn't matter, right, that you are joining it or not. If you have worry about your money, means rupees 2,999, at any point, believe me, it doesn't matter you are taking my first class, the second class, third class, or maybe the last 12th class. If you say, Mr. Vishnu, I literally, right, I literally didn't like your classes. You didn't fulfill the promise. I was expecting something else and you have given me something else. It doesn't matter whether you are in first class or 12th class. We are going to reimburse your money back. We are going to return your money, right? You just say that in the 12th class, doesn't matter in which class you are. So now it is kind of a no-brainer to anybody, right? This course is really cheap, but the content is not going to be cheap, right? If you just see my various courses. The second thing is I'm giving you around 3 to 4,000 rupees of worth, absolutely one of my best content switching. After that, if you book it today, right, it is going to be 10% discount. You just log into my website through the same username and password which you are giving to this webinar, through which you are attending right now this webinar. Believe me, you are going to get the 10%. And at any moment, doesn't matter, after 14th or maybe at the end of the course, if you say, I'm not interested, you didn't deliver the promise, we will give you your money back. We will just ask one question, how we can improve. As simple as that. Having said that, now last thing I will be saying maybe 5 minutes more. The last topic, and you will be amazed to see this, right? That what we are going to learn. First thing first, Try to understand when this guy A, maybe Mr. Rahul comes, Rahul is an employee of this organization. Suppose Sports India. He comes and actually he just wait a minute, guys. So he joins or he connects his laptop with his wire. I'm taking the wired example, suppose, right? What is going to happen? Rahul doesn't have any IP address. Believe me, no IP address. And this is the main problem with the security engineer. They will think that if there is no IP address, communication can't happen. Communication can happen. Okay. Why? Because we need such kind of communication that whenever Mr. Rahul comes, I'm not sure how it is going to happen, but without an IP address, this machine or this laptop is going to communicate with this guy. Why? Because at the end of the day, Mr. Rahul is providing its identity. I am Rahul. My password is this one. It is going to go to the switch, and the switch will be asking to identity services and Mr. Identity Services Engine, tell me Rahul with this password is part of my organization or not. And believe me, this guy is going to reply. But how this communication is happening without any IP address on the system? Because once you get the IP address, there are high chances that you can get the access of the network too, although you can control it. But now, if you see, there is no IP address. There is nothing assigned to Mr. Rahul's, right? Because first thing first, this switch want to check whether this guy belong to my own organization or not. It is asking the ICE, but how come this username and password information is reaching from this user to this switch and from this switch to this identity services engine? Believe me, we are going to talk about it. If you have heard about Radius, the Radius protocol works between this switch and your ICE, which is fully capable of taking your messages. And between your laptop and switch, another protocol is there, which we generally known as EAP over LAN. Believe me, it's fully capable of taking this username and password. But you must be thinking that if that is the case, if we have a wireless network, then does it mean that my username and password goes in air like that? No, there are security mechanisms. Believe me, this is going to be really, really interesting, right? Because I'm 100% sure that the guys who are there in many of my interviews, believe me, they were not clear at all that without IP addressing, how these e-poll messages are going. Although this is very, very basics of networking, really basics of networking, right? So the thing which we are talking just now is actually your 802.1x authentication. How exactly it is working? How basically this device is going to get posture, what is installed in this device, whether the operating system is up to date or not, or whatever your company policies, right? I am coming to that. Means somebody is saying that can we ask question? Just give me one more minute and we are then open for the questions, right? Posture, profiling, guest, everything we will be discussing about in this course, right? So if I talk about what we are going to cover or the prerequisite, it's simple. You just need to be curious. If you are curious, believe me, this course is going to be piece of cake for you. Okay. And the last thing is what we will be covering. We will be, if we break identity services engine, it is going to give me this triple A, which we will be talking in detail. I will be talking about ICE policies and how you can deploy identity services engine in your own organization or to some of your customers. Believe me, that is why I am giving you two courses absolutely free, routing fundamentals and switching fundamentals. If you know that, you know the basics of routing and switching, and top of that, you can create your own complete infrastructure, identity services engine, security infrastructure, right? We will be talking about .1x, which is the important and crucial piece of identity services engine design. And at last, we'll be talking about ICE guest portal and profiling. Believe me, it is going to be an interesting course. Having said that, now I am all open for your questions. Anybody, or just the rule is you just need to raise hand. If you can raise hands, then I can come to you and ask what is in your mind. So please, you are all, what I'm doing here is now you have the permission to unmute yourself, right? And ask questions. You have the capability to unmute.
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead now and ask.
Yeah, Vishnu, I am deploying the ICE last 3 or 4 years,
Mhm.
but I understood the ICE, but I want to go for a deep dive. So could you cover this course, certificate-based authentications,
Yes, we will be doing that.
something?
We will be doing that. So the problem with many of the people who are already doing this identity service engine deployment also, but if I ask
Mm-hmm.
them what is the meaning of this ETLS, right? Why or
Yeah, yeah.
where certificates are come into picture? So that
Mm-hmm.
is where I have maybe one or two classes I have specifically only to this subject, only to explain you what basically certificates are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And certificate authority, public key infrastructure, SSL. We will be talking about all this. Otherwise, you are not going to get it. See, again, and thank you so much, Sandeep ji, for asking this thing, right? And that is where I have this last board. See, people have created their career in identity services engine. It is huge. It
Yes.
cannot be covered in 12 or maybe 12 to 18 hours. There is no doubt about it. But most of my classes, if you see, right, if there is a journey of 100 kilometers in ice, my job is to walk with you till starting 20 or 15 kilometers. But these are going to be solid steps, right? Most of my courses are only like that. I will be walking with you 20 kilometers so that you can run remaining 80 kilometers, and I prove you that your basics and foundations are going to be so solid. Just
Okay.
believe me. Just have a look at my, if you understand Hindi, or maybe there is a network security from scratch course is there. If you just have a look at it, right, it's a free course available on my website. I have
Mm-hmm.
already explained these things which are means if you just go through 2 or 3 videos, although I will be including that as a part of this course, but if you see my SSL video, my IPsec video, my certificate videos, there are 6 videos in it, 1 hour long. Most of your problem with respect to certificate will be gone. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
thank you so much, Sandeep ji, for your question. Now, Mr. Himanshu, you can ask your question. Please go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Mr. Kushal, Mr. Akash, you can. Mr. Himanshu, I am not able to hear you if you are speaking. Himanshu ji. Uh, I think I'm not able to hear you, Himanshu ji. Mr. Sujay, Akash, Kushal, anybody can ask question. Okay, so I have some question in the chat. Maybe if you are not able to speak, just post your question in the chat itself. I can answer that. So one of the guys asking, will this course be available for streaming? I have 1 year streaming plan. Absolutely, Mr. Sayyed Anjumji. Whatever we teach, once this course is finished, and I'm presuming that course is going to finish in March around 15th. So after 15th of March, we will be uploading all of these videos, right? And if you have taken 1 year plan with the site itself, you will be able to see all the video recording. But yes, you won't, with the 1 year plan, you can't access the live classes. But yes, videos will be there. Then I have,
Uh,
yeah, go ahead, please. Who is there?
Vishnu, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Himanshu this
yeah,
side.
Himanshu, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Vishnu, I'm right now I'm integrating my Wi-Fi setup with ICE. Okay, so I have one question. Are you going to like practically, if practically possible, to provide the lab for not lab, like detail of map authentication,
Definitely, yeah.
uh, yeah, and that BYOD?
Yes. So basically, MAB is the part of this course, right? But most of the things,
Mm-hmm,
whatever I can show you right there with the logs and every practical information, it is going to be .1x, maybe some part of pushing, right? MAB
mm-hmm,
will definitely be there, but uh, not all the things I can cover, but I can definitely point you how you are going to configure. BYOD, maybe we can include. And by the way, believe me, uh, whatever the course content I have written there, we change it. And the reason is, if people say no, instead of map we all like to discuss more about BYOD, we can definitely include that
mm.
too. Okay,
Okay,
but
okay,
yeah, lab is
okay,
going to be
sure.
there.
Thank you.
I will be showcasing you all these packets, because this is how I exactly teach. If you do not see packets, if you do not see traffic flows, whatever is happening, I think the understanding level is not that. So I will be showcasing you every packet. Maybe it is .1x or something else. I will be showcasing you. Maybe polar everything.
Because for BYOD you guessed, like what I can understand, like the ACL part was a little bit tricky
Mm-hmm.
about to provide the internet access and integrate with the WLC. So that's why I asked you, like, if you can cover one of them.
Yeah, Wi-Fi portion I am not going to cover here. See, the whole sole intent of this course
Okay,
was to explain software defined access, right, which is a campus based solution. You cannot
correct.
understand SD access unless you have solid understanding of identity services engine. So here mostly my focus area is going to be the wired piece. But immediately after
Okay.
identity services engine, I will be introducing another course which is wireless. Means in the March I will be teaching wireless, and there basically I will be showcasing you how we are going to integrate WLCs and all. Because if you do not know these two pieces, then SDA is going to be a problem. And that is what I see problem in engineers. They are doing SDA access, but they do not know ICE and wireless. The whole sole aim of this entire whatever we are doing is to understand SDA access. But yes, identity services engine, I want to teach a little bit separately than that. I think I'm able to answer your question, right? Himanshuji? I think yes. Okay. Now, anybody else? Maybe Sujay can ask their question, but I can see there are a lot of questions here also. Can't we have trial, maybe attend 2 or 3 classes before we can commit? This is the trial. This is how I teach, right? But for the live classes, it is actually you need to pay first and then. But yes, means you can always choose, means not 2 classes, 3 classes, 4 classes. You can always get your money back if you do not like it. Then we can, we are not able to unmute. Okay. Maybe allow participants to unmute themselves. Yes. I think now you can unmute yourself and ask question. Anybody?
Mm. Hello, hi
Hi,
Vishnu.
good morning,
Yeah. First of all,
everyone.
name. First of all, name. What is your name?
My name is Tiroya One. I'm from Botswana.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Botswana is just a small country next to South Africa.
I know about it, man. Thank you for
Yes,
joining
I
from
have.
so far. Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I understand. IS it involves a lot of practical work. It's a hands-on course.
Mhm.
So my question is, how are we going to access the labs for practices?
Yeah. This
Are
is
we going to install the labs on our laptops, or are we going to have a cloud lab?
no. This course, and I'm repeating this once again. This course is not going to have any lab for the students, right? I have one lab specifically which I have made. I will be showcasing everything on my lab only, right? But you need to create your own lab. Although whatever is needed for that lab, maybe I can provide some of the things for you, because I know that nowadays you can create your own lab if you can install Eve ng, right, in maybe Azure or maybe Google Cloud Platform. These guys are giving some pretty good amount of money to you, right? For example, Google Cloud gives you approximately dollar 400 or maybe 300 for considerable period of time, maybe for 3 months, and you can create a pretty good or great machine there. Install your iOS, sorry, EVNG, and then you can create your lab, right? But I am not going to provide any lab as a part of this course to the student. This is totally, I will be explaining everything on my own lab. Okay. Next question, please. If anybody has, unmute yourself and ask a question. Anyone, please?
Hello, hi Vishnu.
Yeah, go ahead, Sujay.
Bro, I just had a doubt actually. You are going to teach those configurations, this and all, only like concepts.
No, no, no. Configuration will be there. As I mentioned that I will be, for example, if we read dot one A22.1x, definitely the theoretical portion is going to be really important. But if you can't see, if you don't see all these things in action, it is going to be a problem. So I will be showcasing you that how you are going to
Yeah,
create that in my lab only.
okay. Actually, I'm new to ICE. Actually, I'm not implemented it, so it will be good, beginner friendly also, right?
This is going to be beginner friendly. As I mentioned that if you consider ICE is a 100-kilometer journey, right? I will be walking with you from scratch to 20 kilometers or maybe 15 kilometers. But you will be so proficient after this that you can learn right? And it is with the anything, right? For example, if I start teaching BGP or SD-WAN or suppose anything, right? I cannot teach BGP and everything because it is going to take maybe, right, maybe 10 years to teach BGP. But yes, I can teach you starting 10 kilometers of it, so that whatever the project you are going to get along with the journey of 100 kilometers, you have that solid base to do all those projects. This course is going to make you
Okay.
project ready.
Okay, bro. Thanks.
Okay. Mr. Sandeep, you have, I think Debashish ji has question. Debashish ji, please ask your question.
Good morning, Vishnu ji.
Mhm.
Uh,
So first of all,
so,
congratulations on your Sports India company.
okay, thank you,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you very much.
Please go ahead.
And I haven't informed you, but recently I have passed my PCNSA certification
Okay.
from Palo Alto.
Congratulations. Yeah.
So, in my office, I have to see Cisco Identity Service Engine, but very little part.
Mhm.
And I think this will be a very informative course for me and other ones also. So there will be configuration part, but lab is not accessed by us. We
Yes.
have to make our own labs.
Yes, you have to make your own labs, and I will be guiding you step by step process how you are going to do that, right? Maybe I will record each and everything because see, even right now I do not have lab, but I have some servers on which I will be creating the lab. So I will be creating this lab absolutely from scratch with you guys,
Okay.
right? And then people are asking that please tell us about the certificates and the TLS and everything. Don't worry about it, guys. I have worked on some of the cool things in this area. So starting 7 or 8 years of my career was there with these products only. So I assure you that your understanding of certificates, your understanding of general security is going to be enhanced by many folds. Believe me. And not that I am just going to teach certificate. Those are going to make sense to you. If you do not believe, just open my website and just see some of the course pattern. Like if you want to understand, just see my video on the certificate itself. You'll come to know those are awesome. Yeah. So Debashish ji,
Yeah.
I will be
Thank you.
definitely doing this configuration with you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anyone else?
Yes, Vishnu, this is Sachin here.
Sachin, please go ahead.
So my question was like that if I am enrolling for live classes,
Mhm.
so for how much duration the recording will be accessed?
For live classes, it is going to be exist till I think 1 year is there, 1 or 2 years. I think 1 year is there. Let me check. So by the way, if I showcase you how you can maybe yeah. So just go on to my website here and just go to these courses, then ICE from scratch. So this is the package. So you do not need to click on this. You just need to buy a package here. But here you are going to get all these things. For example, ICE from scratch, routing fundamentals, switching, and everything. You will be carrying this. Okay. So I think this is available for 1 year. You will be getting this for 1 year.
All right. So I believe you are going to guide further on how to enroll and all this, right?
Yeah, so enrollment portion is very simple. That's what I am saying, right? So see, I'll show you from scratch. Just open my website and I will be sending this link to everybody, www.bridgewire.com, right? And from here, just go on top means courses. And from here, you can see directly ICE from scratch live classes. If you open this, it is going to tell you the details about about the package, what we are going to cover, right? And then you just need to buy package from it. And if you do it today, then whoever you are seeing, whatever the guys who have joined this webinar, for them there is going to be 10% discount also if you do it today.
Yes, how we can
Yes,
avail
thank
this
you. Thank you.
discount?
How
Vishnu?
you can avail? Can you please tell me?
I mean, see, if we go there for the registration, right?
Uh-huh.
So we have option of buy package for 2,999, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying we are going to get the 10% discount.
Yeah, so
do we
basically
get
right
any
now for
special
me,
code?
see, I am not getting the discount, but I think some member of my team has taken care of whatever the email ID you have given to me, right? You just need to log in first. You just need to log in, and if you log in and come to this ICE from scratch, I will be sending you this link and buy package. 10% discount will be there for you.
Okay,
It is
okay.
already
Thank you
attached.
so
When you
much.
click on buy a package, it will be reduced by 300 or 400, whatever the 10% is.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. But I will be sending on that group also, or I think you all understand that the process is very simple, right? You just go there, log into this website, just search for ICE from scratch, or basically it is right there. If you go to the courses, yeah, you should be logged in first. If you logged in, then that 10% coupon is going to be with you. Which version of ICE you are going to use, I believe me, I still haven't decided on that. But yeah, whatever the latest version is on there, whatever the suggested by Cisco, we are going to take it. Will you cover primary and secondary? Yeah, definitely. That is basically the design portion, right? If you are actually thank you Nishanji for registering the course. So basically, if you are designing this implementation piece, right? If you are designing this ICE network for some customer, these things are going to be really, really important. These things are really, really important. Primary pen, and then the different personas also, how much number of user sites are supported. So we will be having one separate class on the design portion itself. So don't worry about it. Okay. Anybody, any curious question, any curiosity come to your mind? I am still here for next 5 or 10 minutes. Please do ask question. Will the class be on portal? Absolutely. Once we are finished with this class, with the course itself, it is going to be uploaded in the portal. And if you have 1 year access, you can definitely see that. And the people who are getting this live class, they will have the access of each and every class on the same day once I finish the class. But the people who are having 1 year access, they will, and do not register for the live, you will get the videos only, but after 1 month. Yeah. So I think, hi Vishnu, please try to perform practical on basis of cert based. Definitely, I will be. Certificate is something which people fear about. Believe me, right? And this is one of the most simple concept I have ever read. I will be proving you into the live classes. So we will be talking about that too. Anybody? Anyone?
Vishnu, you will cover these classes into Hindi language also?
Oh yes, I didn't tell you about this thing. This course is available in Hindi as well as English. So first we teach in Hindi, right?
Mm-hmm.
From 7:30 to whatever the time is, and then in English just after the class. So you can check the timing on the portal itself. But this course will be available on Hindi and English. And if you have taken Hindi, or basically we don't differentiate on the basis of language, you can come and join any class, Hindi or English or both. Means if you want to join both also in the same price.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Oh, Vishnu Naveen this side.
Yes, Naveen ji, please go ahead.
Okay, so is this possible for you to explain me like how which topic we are going to cover, because I'm not able to identify in your website. Like when I click on the I section, it's automatically redirect to this portal
So
again.
if you
Again, I
go
have to.
here in the store, and if you click ICE from scratch, just go
Mhm.
down, and on hypothetical
Okay.
basis, basically we will be covering this. But generally, if I'm not sure whether you are part of my any other class, we change these topics on the basis of people need. That if somebody says that, can we include BYOD also, or can we include maybe a little bit more about, for example, I have included this confidentiality, integrity, and authentication, which actually going to talk about all these three concepts, which include certificates also, public key infrastructure, SSL. We will be talking about it. Don't worry. So
Are we are we going to getting information about the posture checking in the eyes?
yeah,
Is like this
posture check. Basically, if you install any kind of client, we can do it easily. But we need to
uh
also check what we can cover in those 12 classes. It should be highly fundamental class. But yes, if there is a huge demand, let's complete the posture also, Mr. Vishnu. Then I do not have any problem, because starting 7 years of my career just went into this any connect client itself, and posture is one of the simple thing. Whatever we can do.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. And the funniest part, I've already enrolled, but I'm not getting 10% discount.
Oh, is it? Is it? Okay. So maybe we will what we can do, maybe in the next course you will get something different. Just ping me your name that you have taken it and you haven't got the discount. Okay.
Okay, fine, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Perfect. Anybody else? Anyone? And by the way, somebody has asked ICE integration and DNEC. Guys, the whole sole purpose. See, I could have teach you from beginning this SDXs, right? SGXs comprise of these three things: identity services engine as a security portion, and then wireless, and then basically SDA fabric, right? So whole sole point of this complete whatever we are learning is to get into the basics of software defined access, right? So if you are with me, it is not about DNAC and ICE integration. It is about DNAC because it is the future technology and the campus technology. Okay, we will be talking about it. So any other doubt, any other question? I think we are good. I don't think that people are raising hands now.
I think विष्णु जी थोड़ा सा कंटेंट कम है, थोड़ा सा और बढ़ा दो इसको.
The problem is we okay. What would you like to include in that?
TechX नहीं है इसमें.
Okay,
Yeah, TechX
but
होना चाहिए.
we will be talking about both the protocols, Radius as well as TechX. TechX is mainly for the device, the AAA. I will be talking about it. See, whatever you have written, whatever we have written there, it is going to be more. Definitely, whatever I feel is a cause of concern for people, I will be definitely including.
Because as an engineer, when we implement ना, जैसे वो लोग बोलते हैं कि certificate based authentication करना, so it's very hard to deploy because we don't understand.
Yeah, and I will make sure that once you have this, and that is why basically, see, I am promising you something, right? But everything is in your hand. After 12th class, you say that Mr. Vishnu, certificate समझ में नहीं आया. There is a false promise, right?
Okay.
Then it is up to me that see, I am so confident on my content that people don't ask money back, right? They appreciate. But maybe if I sometime I fail also in delivering those content, you have all the authority to take your money back.
नहीं पैसे तो I don't want to take return. I just want to add content cover हो जाएगा इतना ही दफा है.
नहीं वो मजा आएगा आपको, don't worry इसमें.
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Then will the call include how to integrate with AD? Yeah, I will be creating the AD server. Otherwise, see, we are just asking that my name is Rahul and my password is from where exactly this AD is coming to picture, from where identity services engine is going to ask about this information. We will be including AD also. Somebody is asking that too. Yeah, please go ahead. Anyone else?
Yeah, Vishnu, Akash this side.
Akash,
Yeah,
please go ahead. Please go ahead, Akash.
Yeah, Vishnu. Yeah, first of all, thank you. And are we going to discuss about the deployment model and licensing part?
We will be. Licensing of ICE is pretty simple, but yes, deployment model for designing any ICE infrastructure is a must. We will be talking about. There is one separate class, 1.5 hours is going to be totally dependent on the designing portion, where I will be talking about different personas and how you are going to deploy your identity services in. But that is going to come maybe after 7 or 8 classes. By that point of time, you should understand what the certificate based authentication is, how actually ICE works. Some portion of it may be .1x authentication. And once we are comfortable with that, see, it is all about where you are going to place your ICE. I have directly placed into the Sports India's data center. Why? What is the reason, right? We will be talking about it.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Vishnu.
Perfect. Anybody else? Any doubt?
Vishnu, Sanjay this side. I have a query. So, when will be you launching that course when I can see it like in reference of wireless? Because majority of my work is on the wireless platform.
See, ICE course will be completed in 1 month or maybe before 1 month, maybe 3 weeks, right? Once we are finished with that, around 15th to 20th March, we will be introducing a course on wireless, which is going to be wireless absolutely from scratch. We will be introducing that.
Not wireless, wireless, I know. Wireless in terms of, I mean to say integration with ICE. That is what I'm talking about. Not wireless,
yeah,
I know
then
wireless.
Basically these two, because we know ICE, there must be 2 or 3 classes in the wireless section where we will be talking about integration of ICE with WLC.
So that is like different course, right? That will not be included in
no, that is not going to be included in ICE.
Because it could have been. It could have been. Ideally, it should be.
The problem is I want to keep wireless separate because of some reasons which I have.
Yeah, you must have, but like wireless is just like L2 extension. It's like switching only. So if someone is working on wired, he should be knowing.
Actually, wireless from the basics. Why I want to do it? Okay, let me tell you that most of the people has some fear about this radios coverage and all, which is the layer one, right? The second thing is basically once I teach you about this TLS and everything, you all know the wireless is all about cap web most of the times, right? If people don't get it, they can't get this tunneling mechanism also. So I have thought a step. I mean, if you see my previous courses also, for example, you won't believe, to explain VXLAN, to understand VXLAN, we have divided this VXLAN into 3 different portions. First, switching fundamental, which I'm giving you free with this course. Then we talked about multicast. People don't get it that if you want to understand in and out of VXLAN, you should understand multicast. Then we introduce VXLAN with BGP VPN, right? So the whole, so believe me, the whole sole purpose is to create that software defined access network that you all can go and deploy or go and work on projects with SDA. And that is why I will try to teach a little bit of ISE, then a little bit of wireless, and then more about SDA, where we are going to combine all these pieces. Maybe I am not, maybe right now I'm not fitting into your requirement, but yes, this is the whole sole plan which I have
Yeah,
in
I
my mind.
understand your point. Yeah, I understand your point. Because wireless, I know that's so that is like I just want to know how it integrates with the like ICE.
Yeah.
Okay. And my last query is like how your lab setup works. So we get some login credential or how it is.
Lab basically is only for me. I will be showcasing you what I'm doing, but I'm in no position to share or give you your lab. You are the only, but yes, I will be definitely helping you in creating your lab from scratch if you want to.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Perfect.
That's all.
Perfect. Anybody else? Just unmute yourself and ask question now. You do not need to raise hands. Sachin is asking how to opt for Hindi or English. See, we do not differentiate on the basis of Hindi or English. The price is same. If you want to attend Hindi, you attend Hindi. If you want to attend English, English. If you want to attend both also, it is up to you. Yeah. So yeah, somebody was asking, please go ahead. Sorry for that. I interrupted you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vishnu, I just registered your course.
Thank you
for the
so much.
ICE.
Thank you so much.
So it will
Akashi.
be, yeah, it will be on weekend or weekdays. Yeah, okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And do not worry about it. Means if you miss some of the classes, we will upload for the live viewers. This is going to be uploaded on the same day. Somebody is
Yeah, actually, I'm from Cisco, so I can reach you on to
perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Akashi. And somebody asking cost and duration. The duration is going to be maybe 3 weeks, 12 classes. Cost is 2,000, around 3,000 rupees, 2,999, and you will be getting 10% discount with some of the courses if you register today itself. How to reach you one-to-one? Believe me, what we are going to do, we will be creating a group of these people now, right, on the WhatsApp, and we can talk about. And by the way, my website is also having community page also. You just go and type yourself. I will be replying to you. Don't worry. Anybody else? Any question? I think we are good. I think we are good. So, extremely sorry for destroying the initial some hour of your Saturday. But believe me, if you are with me in this ICE learning journey, we will be learning some cool stuff with some stories. It is not going to be boring at all. See you in live class. If it's possible, do register. If it is not, then of course we will. I'll see you somewhere else. Bye for now. Have a nice day ahead.